Okay, we're going to import some survey data to create our existing terrain model. Now please ignore the format of this file I'm importing. This is just a Bentley survey format used for this demo. Thanks to Chris Smith and Jared Clemens for providing this example data and helping out with surface workflows. Now we're open to your suggestions on workflows, and if you see anything we can do better, don't hesitate to send your suggestions to CAD support email. Now what we're going to do is import our survey data. So we'll make a new folder here, and then we're just going to import this file. We'll import it all right quick. Now you'll notice that at this point we don't have a terrain model created. We haven't done that yet. Okay, let's say the survey is pretty well cleaned up. Their surveyors are happy with it. Let's make a surface out of it. So we're going to create a terrain model. Now you'll notice it put a boundary on it of sorts. And now we have a terrain model. Well, let's change the terrain model feature definition so we can see the triangles. Okay, so we will change this to 50 scale triangles. There we go, 50 scale show triangles. Okay, we've got that in there. If you close this, we've still got, this is the one that's active, this is the one we originally placed. If you'll close the Explorer and open it back up, that one should be gone. Okay. Now, let's say we've got this from the surveyor or wherever it came from, and we want to clean up some of these triangles. So common sense would tell you to pull up the edit terrain model, and let's just delete some triangles. But you can't. Why is that? Well, that's because it's ruled to the survey. What we can do is come back in the survey and deactivate the survey processing rules. Now we'll be able to go back in and delete these triangles that we want to get rid of. This is no different than when you used to go in SS2 and delete triangles. And we would delete and clean it up. The difference is this has all of its intelligence still. So if in SS2 you were to reprocess your corridor, or well, your terrain model, I should say, so we can delete all these triangles however we want to do it. And then we want to keep all the intelligence in this. So let's say we go back in here and we say we activate the survey processing rules. Well, it's telling you right here what's getting ready to happen. It's going to put these triangles back to the way they originally were. And you can see that's what did it. Why did it do that? Well, there's a relationship between the survey rules and the model, the terrain model. We can go in here and we can put a boundary on this. We can clean these up, put a boundary on it, and fix all this. And it's very similar to the way it worked in SS2. But it retains its intelligence. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure you think about how you're going to place these, and have the end model in mind. Okay, so how would I change this terrain model properly? These design, so these terrain edits stay. So, well, the first thing you're going to do, most people are going to do, is go in. We're going to get on this surface. We're going to come here and we're going to set this edge length. Now, most people will use sliver. I'm going to use this max edge just so we can leave like 250 foot or something, so we can have some additional cleanup on this. And you'll see most of it does a pretty good job cleaning up, but not all of it. We've still got some bad triangles here and there. So at this point, we need to check and see what's activated and what's not as far as the rules go. So we're going to deactivate the survey rules. Now what we're going to do is go in here and clean up, some more of these triangles and get this surface looking the way we want it. And for this, we're going to use the edit model. We're going to come in here. We're going to delete some of these. And we'll just clean up some of these that are easy to see. I know we want to get rid of most of these. So it's going to like a Dropbox or something up there. We won't get too crazy with this. We'll just delete some of these that we know are bad triangles, because you're more than likely going to merge a LiDAR tile or something to go with this. So now we've got, let's say we've got it looking about the way we want. So what do we need to do to make sure this stays? Well, what we're going to need to do is add a ruled boundary. So we're going to add a boundary. And we're going to add a ruled boundary. You've got several options there. Add boundary, add a ruled boundary. The ruled boundary is basically, if you add a ruled boundary and set your feature definition, you can modify the graphic and get rid of and clean up the rest of the stuff. We'll do that right quick. So we're going to add a ruled boundary. Okay, so now we have a boundary added to that, or it's adding it. And let's say we want to go in here and clean up a few more of these triangles. Let's find some triangles that we want to get rid of. Let's say we're going to clean up around here. Well, right now the easiest way to do this, in my opinion, is going to be go to drawing, and we're going to insert vertices right here, and we're going to insert vertices on this graphic. Let's say we'll just do a small area right here. We got rid of some of those. Let's say we fix this too. Okay, we've cleaned some of that up. That's going to stay. Now, okay, we're done. We're ready to merge in our LiDAR, whatever we're going to do, or go ahead and lay out our alignment on it. So what you're going to want to do is go back here and turn on your processing rules. And see, it's giving us the same warning. But since we put a ruled boundary around there, it kept our changes. So as long as you know how these rules work with the surfaces or anything else in OpenRoads, you should be able to control your terrain just like you did in SS2. It's just a little bit different workflow. Instead of having to reprocess this, it automatically knows what's changed, and I think that's what's throwing a lot of people for a loop. So